In today's video, we're going to have another $10 grab bag of 50 identified coins. As it turns out, they're not all identified. Sometimes they just put it in a flip and call that identified, but even still, these are always worth my time. These tend to be coins that are good but not great, and so in each of these bags, I find about 5 coins that are really good for my collection, another 5 or so that are upgrades to things existing in my collection. I find about 10 coins that are completely worthless to me, and then the remaining 20 or 30 make for pretty good trade pieces, so I always get my $10 worth out of these bags. This is the 6th and final video of the set of these that I purchased at the Tennessee State Numismatic Show in November of 23. By the time you upload this, or by the time I do spread these videos out so they're not all back to back. So I recorded this video, 6 of these videos in the same day, and we're starting to see some of the same countries over again, mostly Thailand and Canada, sometimes Russia. And so we're going to jump in and see what we get. This first one hanging out is from Germany. This one is a 10 Pfennig coin. Based on the condition, this one's a pretty decent pickup. They do put a price on a lot of their coins. Sometimes they're inflated, but sometimes they're pretty reasonable. On here, KM26, made out of zinc. There's a time this coin was made out of iron. So that's a good one. These are pretty common, but it's the German 10 euro cent coin featuring the Brandenburg Gate. This design appears on the 10, the 20, and the 50. One of the more common euro coins that you'll see. This one's from Italy. It's going to be a 20 centesimi from 1911. About a year ago, I got a one of these in brilliant uncirculated condition. So still a pretty coin, I think. 5-euro cent from Germany with the oak leaf. That appears on the 1, the 2, and the 5. All right, here we have a silver dime. So in one of these lots, I got 3 of these. Now the 68 is only 50% silver, so that the day I'm recording this is worth about 70 cents at $22 an ounce. Anything before 68 was 80%. And before that was, many decades before that, it was sterling. But you can get enough of these and it pays for your bag. This one's going to be a Canadian 5-cent coin from 1961. Not too rare, although it is another one just like it. This is when it was still 12-sided instead of round. One has a spot of corrosion on it. Canadian cent from 1968. Let's come back on the Canadian coins, please. Like I said, there's always 10 coins or so that are worthless to me, but this one might be a round one, 1965. So at least that makes it a different coin when I build my lots to sell. Okay, so here's our first Thailand coin of the video, and I've said kind of the same thing in all these videos. I'm getting a lot of these Thailand coins that the less common, well, I get the 1 baht coins all the time. These lower denomination ones have less of a book value, but you just don't find them as often. I think that makes it good for the lots which I sell for variety. So this is the 50 satang. This one is in nice condition. The price guide points out that this is the view where he's got 3 medals on his outfit, and there's an older version where there is only 1 medal on here. That's an old flip where they actually had to tape it shut. Another Thailand, this is about the same size, but it's modern. This is the 2 baht coin, and I've said it several times in these previous videos. There are 2 common portraits of King Rama IX. This is the newest one, where you can only barely see his glasses. He's looking almost directly to the left. But in other versions, he's not, which would be older through like the 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. You see more of his glasses because he's not staring straight at the left, a little bit facing us a little bit better. But I'm glad they actually have this one dated of 2009. Flip it over, and I think there's some kind of temple on here. Not sure why they wrote number 2 on it, although it is a 2 baht. Here is a Canadian dime. So in 1968, they switched from silver to copper nickel in the same year. You can just tell by looking at it that this one's not going to be silver, and it's all scratched up too. And then we've got another 2 coins stuck together. I was going to point out, there we go. We've got another Canadian nickel from 1964, but it was stuck to another 10 euro cent coin, another German Brandenburg Gate. Let's go to this Thailand coin. This one's going to be a 10 baht. So these are usually bimetallic. These also make for good trade pieces. Showing a temple on here. And here is the older portrait that I'm talking about. This time you can see more of the glasses on him. So this portrait ran, if this coin was dated 1994, this portrait ran from like the 60s through the 90s. So that's good. It's also got some interesting partial reading in segments to it. Let's pull out the next Thailand coin. We've gotten about one of these per bag. This is the 2 baht coin in a modern design, so the modern portrait again, dated 2008. I cannot read Thailand dates as best as I try, so I'm glad that at least that part of it's identified. Canadian cent from 66. Hey, here's a good one. We've been getting a lot of circulated Soviet coins, but the 1 ruble coin you just don't really see that often. So this one's from 1964. Definite a good coin to have included in here. I wish that one was described a little bit better, but most of the Soviet coins were pretty much the same from 61 through 91, with a couple of commemoratives. And the 1 ruble was commemorated, lots of commemoratives with the 1 ruble, but I'm not sure that I had just the standard circulating one. There's a 57 Canadian cent. Of course, it's got the oldest portrait of the Queen. And another from 62. And another from 62. And another non-silver dime from 1968. And for something different, we've got a British penny from 1928. Based on this side, that's good shape on here for a George V penny. So this is not that rare, but it's good to see it in a nicer condition. Here's a nice Australian 50 pence coin, 1994. Actually, theirs would be called a 50-cent coin. And so this one is an interesting 1-year commemorative. Looks like a stick figure or children drawing. 50 cents, 1994. They went to the trouble of labeling that AUS for Australia on here. Like I said, they don't label these as much as they used to on here, but this one's really nice. A commemorative larger denomination coin. Okay, let's see if this is just the common 1 baht coin. No, this one is not a common 1 baht coin. This one's probably an upgrade to my collection if I have it. I'm not familiar with this portrait of King Rama IX. Is there a date on here? 2517, so I don't know what that translates to. I forget the name of the creature featured here, but I believe this is a part of the religion the winged person here. I wrote down the name for a previous video, but I can't think of what that is. But I like that coin. Certainly, if I had it, it's an upgrade to my collection. Here is a coin made out of tin. Forgot if I said it in this video or previous videos, but the Thailand coins use all kinds of different metals, especially these low value ones dating back to the 40s even. Lots of coins made out of tin, the metal tin, not the number 10. And then we've got a 25 satang from 1977. This one's probably just the standard circulating one, but again, this one is a pretty good shine, luster, uncirculated look to it. Probably had it, probably going to be an upgrade. Moving on to another 1 baht coin, I think. Not identified on this side, but getting to see all these different portraits of King Rama on these commemoratives. There we go. That's an interesting way of labeling it. Someone actually, old school here, someone labeled this on a typewriter. 1946, a 50 satang. I probably didn't have this. I assumed this one was a 1 baht coin. Very likely I did not have this one. 46. We saw 96 was the 50th anniversary of his reign, so this might be essentially when Rama the Ninth took over. Might be his first portrait on a coin. I like that one. Another British 1 cent coin, 1918. So again, George V, but not nearly as good shape as the previous one. I've been passing over some of these Russian coins. I don't want to go to the trouble of getting the staple out for a very common coin. That one we're going to look at the end. And so was that one. Another 5 baht. Let's see if this is the common circulating one. Yeah, it is the new portrait. And I will say the thickness of the coin is a lot thinner for the newer portrait, and also the relief on the back is thinner. The older portrait, which is easier to find, was a thicker coin. Well, that's an interesting envelope, that shape. I'm used to seeing the make kind of a Y shape right here, so that's different. Different just for that to go in. Now we have something from the Bahamas, 1997, with a sailboat on their 25-cent coin. Then a 1 euro cent. Is this one also going to be Germany? It is, with the oak leaf. And then we've got a shiny 1 penny of George VI. This one looks cleaned. I'm not an expert on that, but sometimes it's easy enough to tell that I can tell it, and especially when it looks kind of grimy between the letters, but everything else is shiny. Yeah, that one's been cleaned. But hey, some people will like the shiny nature of it. So 1937. Let's go to this one here, Jamaica, 10-cent coin. Pretty common. This dealer, I got a lot of Jamaican proof coins when I bought these from her last time. Another 1 euro cent oak leaf. Okay, so this Thailand coin, 25 satang, year 2500, obverse dot under bust, uncirculated. They only say that it's worth 25 cents. And let's take a look. So this must be a variation. What did it say? Obverse dot under bust. Okay, I see it right there. So that must be a variation. This is going to be one that's worth looking up in the price guide. The coin seems uncirculated, but also soft on details. So this must be late in the life of that particular strike. You have Bulgaria, 1974, 20 statinki, a coin that looks a lot like a Soviet coin on this side. 20 statinki, 1974. Bulgaria has the dancing ready to fight lion. Then let's see what we've got here. Another Thai 10 bot. Did I say earlier that the 10 bot are... Oh, this one's different. All the videos I've been making today have been running together, but this one celebrates the 50th anniversary of Rama the Ninth ruling on the throne. He ruled almost as long as Queen Elizabeth did, which is why we've had so many coins with him today. But they made this design with the portrait looking straight ahead and the ceremonial design on the back on about a dozen different denominations, and plus maybe 3 or 4 silver commemoratives on here. So quite the year of coins. That one is nice. That one's one of the best coins in here, in my opinion. Got a Canadian quarter. There was one video where I got a bunch of commemoratives that were interesting. And then this one is going to be an Olympic commemorative of, I guess that's ice. I want to call it ice dancing. I know that's not right. Figure skating. There you go. So when Vancouver hosted the Olympics in 2010, they had pretty much a bunch of different sports on their quarter spanning 3 or 4 years leading up to that. In a previous video, I got the curling quarter as well. So that's a good one. Don't know if I had it or not. Here's another hold Thailand coin. They even wrote Siam on this one. A half of a satang. We're getting pretty old on this one. I probably didn't even have this. In 1937, they say it's worth $1.75. This is one of those where the older coins of lower denominations get lost and not held on to. They say extra fine, but it wouldn't surprise me if there is some corrosion, because just the color of it looks almost more of a reddish. Also, the flip on this one is an old school flip that it's not stapled on here. So this was had an adhesive to it. You better get the coin in there just right, or it's sticking on here. So it's probably got some tape, and you peel back a layer and it flips together, and it just sticks together with the adhesive. But oh, it's even embossed back here. Part of the fun of going through this is just seeing some of these old school flips that you don't see very while. It's very often. It's the Hudgens Easy Seal, the patent number. I can't say that I've ever seen a flip like that before. It makes it for a thinner flip. I hope that keeps it safe. Let's see. Next up, we've got Hungary 1974 1 forint. This might be the Hungarian coin I have the most of. Hungary is Magyar, if you've never seen that before. Next Thailand coin is a 2 baht. We've got several of these in this series. Next, oh, not a Canadian cent. We've got a Netherlands cent. So this design ran through, I'm guessing, I'm going to guess 1930s all the way back to, let's say, the 1870s or so. And 1925. I have found this coin with better condition than this one, but still doesn't surprise me that it's books for $1 in this fine condition, I guess. Another Canadian, hopefully a commemorative quarter. It is. We've got the Breast Cancer Awareness Quarter. So one of the quarters that the mint themselves colorized. Canada led the way on that. They had their red poppy quarter for their veterans remembrance. And then I think this is the second one they made for circulation, the breast cancer awareness. So it's got the white painted center with the pink ribbon on it. Then you see 3 ribbons etched in it around it. Canada 25 cents. And of course we've got the portrait of Queen Elizabeth on this side. The P on here is not a Philadelphia mint mark, in case you're wondering about that. So those always make for good trades right there. That one might even be an upgrade. The one I had was kind of well worn. The ink in the middle was starting to wear off. Another 5 cent from Germany. Next yellow flip is going to be Greece 2 drachma from 66. So this is when they showed the ruler instead of historic figures. And so there's a 1 drachma 50 lepta coin that pretty much look just like this one, but those two are smaller. But the 2 is a little bit better since it's a bigger coin. Bolivia, 1987. An American country that I don't see as often. And this one is a bigger coin, but a little bit well worn. 1 Boliviana. So I've had plenty of these over the years. All right, so we've got 2 more coins that haven't opened yet because they're stapled in. George II and George III, you are saying that right. In previous videos on here, I found these to be very old and very cold. So almost no details or damage to them. Let me pause, take the staple out, and then we're going to open it up and take a look. So I looked up these dates earlier, and George III, going from memory here, it was something like 1820 was the end of his reign. Start of his reign was like 1780 or so. That's George III is the king that you'll think about America fighting for independence from. This is going to be the size of a half penny. It is a little bit damaged, which means we're also going to see more details than we have on some of these others. It's going to say George in Latin on this time. We can actually see the letters on this one. Some of them were so bad you couldn't see that. So it says George in Latin, which is actually like it says Georgius. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, Roman numeral, Rex for king, and barely the outline of his portrait. Possible that could be chop marks on there, but I doubt it. Flip it over and can't even really tell which side is up on this side. So they're fun because how often do you get more coins this old? I see a 1 and a 7, I think. So maybe this side where my thumb is the bottom, and that's a date right there. But I guess they could definitely tell it was George III on this one. But very well worn. Really hard. How do you put a price on something like this? I mean, you're going to go to the price guy, and it's going to say that the very good 8, MS8, not mint state, but like very good 8 on a coin like this is going to have a book value of like $10. What are you going to call the poor condition one? They don't go that low. But George II was, of course, earlier, and I think he was something like 1750 to 1780. And so I'll say on this one, for the eye appeal of this one, I like it because you can see really good the outline of the bust which is on this coin, and even dates back to a time when kings had like ribbons tied to the back of their hair, and you can see that on here. So from that perspective, I like this coin. It's going to say Georgius on this side. The one thing you can read really well is the 2 eyes of the 2 Roman numerals on here, so that makes it easier to tell it's George II. This is a half penny also. This time, the design on the back, which is the Britannia figure, I think it just says the word Britannia around the edge on here. But it's a design that's similar to, if you ever have seen newer pennies that dated up even to the 60s, it is a seated lady in front of an ocean, and there is a shield right here with the Britain flag on it. You can see pretty good details for compared to some of the others. So this is a good way to end this series. We've gotten not so much in the last couple of videos, but the second video in this set, we got like 5 or 6 of these, and this one is better, in my opinion, than any of the others. Is it worth a lot? No, but how often do you get coins that are 250 years old that are, worth anything? So certainly like this one. This one is certainly a good note to finish off the series on. So really happy with that one. I'm going to say the very first video was kind of a dud because we got 30, probably 20 to 30 Soviet coins, all common. Maybe 5 were new to my collection, but they don't really make for good trade pieces, I don't think. But this lot right here, 5 of the 6 were definitely worth the $10. So on the total, I'm happy with what I purchased this. Maybe I'll buy more than 6 of them next time, but a lot of fun for 60 bucks. I hope you've had a chance to watch all of the videos in this series, and by the time I record this video, I'm probably going to have a chance to go back to the next TSNS show in Eastridge, Tennessee, and buy more from this dealer if she is still there. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.